I mean, because I'm a tall guy. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello. How are you? Are we on? I want, we don't know for at least 60 seconds because there's a 1-minute lag. Aurora's raising the computer because she wants the angle a certain way. And I'm too tall.
We look washed out in the lighting.
Get up and adjust it, darling. I called Aurora darling because she's a family member, in case you guys didn't know. So, in Ireland, there are no alligators decorating golf courses? That sounds quite boring. So, Billy, I assume that means you can hear us and you can see us. And Sergey, yes, you're here, and so we have started. Cool. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm wearing a new shirt. It's a turtleneck my wife bought me, and it feels like too much on my neck. Anyway, Happy New Year to all. The Americans, the Russians, the Westerners, the English speakers from all around the world. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And I'm stalling a bit till we get to 20 in the live chat because I don't want to repeat myself. Are you guys having fun? DZ, Billy, Marcos, Sergey, Gloria. Is everyone happy? Do you all know who this is? I hope you're happy. I hope your refrigerator is full. I hope you're ready for the new year. I hope you have your plans.
Do you need this?
And Aurora wants to adjust the lighting.
I just don't think we need it.
Oh, we absolutely need it. If we don't have it, these wonderful people will explain. The real experts. We shall see. Elizino, are we the real experts? Are we not?
I still got eggnog to you. They don't have eggnog in Russia. I cannot find it, and it makes me very sad.
They really have no eggnog?
No, I was looking for it in Sean last week, and I couldn't find it. And last year I couldn't find it, and in 2019 I couldn't find it. It's really disappointing.
Well, let's be honest, Americans, if you're willing. Eggnog is weird, right?
No.
I mean, if you didn't grow up with it, you wouldn't drink it. Am I right?
No. It's sweet. It's creamy. It's delicious. It has a funny name. And if you don't think about the eggs in it, then it's great.
Raw eggs, sugar, cinnamon.
It's not raw.
And other stuff.
I've made homemade eggs.
Too weird to know about. But it is gooey and it is tasty.
No, don't call it gooey. Call it creamy.
America must send the nog.
Yes.
So it's raining in California. Well, that is something, Marcos, that we have in common right now because it has been raining in Moscow for a good 24 hours. Wouldn't you say, Aurora?
I have not been outside in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, but you can hear it trickling.
I believe you.
Okay. Aurora can't hear it trickling. Aurora, are you able to read the Russian comments?
Yeah.
And questions?
Why is there no translation?
Good question. And you can tell them in Russian that takes 24 hours for the algorithmic computer to get going.
Почему нет перевода? Потому что надо ждать 24 часа.
Tell him in Russian before he goes, he needs to share this with his English-speaking friends, and then he can come back in 24 hours.
До того, когда вы выходите, присылайте этот видео к вашим друзьям. И потом через 24 часа можно посмотреть на русском. Так, are you ready for a long holiday? Жду снег первого.
Okay, I'll do the English stuff. Come on now.
Okay.
Don't take my job.
Waiting for snow on the 1st. Я тоже жду снег.
All right, we're at over 20. So I will now begin. Welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American here with Aurora. She's back. How long have you been gone, Aurora?
I have no idea. Our last video was maybe in the springtime?
I think it was the trip to Karelia.
Oh.
Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
It was so cool, and not that many people saw it. And I understand, it's summertime. Why do you want to watch my videos? You can go have your own fun. It's warm outside.
I thought you were referring to my personal video, the Seven Sisters buildings.
Oh, that was a long time ago. So long ago. That's the first video on your playlist.
What?
Well, because I made it. That's when I made the playlist.
Okay.
So if you guys don't know Aurora, she has her own playlist. She's young. She's a female. She's an American. She's not completely white. She's lots of fun. Sound right? Does that sound good?
Yeah, okay.
And she is a Christian, though, just to rein it in there for you. And we did do, she's in another playlist that we did this summer. I believe it's called Karelia, right?
I think so.
And that's kind of like the Russian Yosemite or Alaska, however you want to look at it.
Very beautiful.
It's wonderful. And Josiah was along for the ride, and it may be, it's arguably his best moments, right, Aurora?
Okay. I prefer it when he's joking.
Anyway, this is Moscow New Year is What Live. Thank you for joining us, guys. So we're going to answer your questions. You can send them right away because I have no notes. And I'm ready to start answering your questions. I am an American who's been living in Moscow for almost 2 years now. We came here 8 days before the special military operation. I have 5 children and a Russian wife, and this is Aurora. Who is Aurora? Does anyone know? Send a text if you think you do. I think some of you do. Yes, Aurora, you want to say something?
First, I'll answer one of the questions in the chat. What part of the U.S. is Aurora from? I'm from Florida, specifically a town called Tallahassee. I lived there my whole life up until about 2 years ago when I moved to Russia. Moscow.
Her mother is descended from Spain and or Mexico. Her father is 50% British and 10% German, and also has ancestry that came through Ellis Island from Russia, believe it or not.
And you're a little bit Jewish.
I've never said that before on this channel.
Oops. I am proud.
And I didn't even tell them that I'm your father, although many of them probably do know.
No, you said it at the beginning when you called me darling.
Oh, well, that's an insinuation. But yes, since you said it, in case you didn't know from looking at my face, although I am a converted Christian, I am genetically a Jew. And, hopefully you're okay with that. I'm great with that.
Why wouldn't they be okay with it?
But I was not going to share that until it came out as the result of a show where there was a reason to share it, like everything else. Because as I do this show, I don't tell you guys everything immediately about myself. I let things come out slowly. Like, you might not know everything about Josiah yet, and that's okay. You have to watch more episodes and figure things out.
Maybe see stuff on other channels.
Right. So, does Russia have its own Old Faithful like Wyoming? You mean a water steam thing? What do you call it? It's like going off all the time. And Billy kind of knew that you were my daughter. I couldn't tell she was your daughter. I thought she was adopted. Well, I mean, yeah, we look different.
People say that we look alike. But some people say that we look completely different, so that makes sense.
So Russians, please. I didn't know. So I still don't know. Is there like a steam thing in Russia? Like, a natural formation, like not a volcano, but like steam water shooting up. We have that in America. It's called Old Faithful. Yes. Avon More Milk. I am technically a Ruski Jew. Well, yeah, it's a hot spring, right? Did I say it right, guys? Aurora, Russian?
I understand it. I don't know how to translate it.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So anyway, I'll be looking for question marks. And on the topic of New Year, so I grew up in Florida, and Aurora did as well, believe it or not. And now we've been here. We spent New Year's here in Moscow as tourists. And
Twice.
Twice for
Yeah,
New Year's
because
as
in
tourists. Okay.
2019.
So she says, I don't remember.
We
And so,
rented an apartment.
well, I
on
remember one. I remember
Smolensk.
that one on Samolinskaya.
Yes.
An apartment overlooking one of Stalin's towers. It's Aurora's first video, by the way. We visited Stalin's towers. It's another plug. And and if you look the other way, you could see Moscow City. And so it was a nice, cool, wonderful holiday time.
Mhm.
And there was another time we were here as tourists.
No, I just counted our first year moving here. We were in Moscow.
Yeah, but that was not the holiday time. That was mid-February.
We came here in February, and then we were here for a year, and that was our first Christmas and
Yes.
New Year's, and then this is our second Christmas.
So
and
we've
New Year's.
had 3 in total.
This will be our third.
Yes. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. So 1 is tourists and 2 is people that live here. So we have experience with the Moscow New Year, and we have experience with the American New Year, specifically in Florida. And we have experience watching the New York New Year on TV. I've never been. I wanted to go, but then I heard, when you guys see it on TV and there's like crowds of people smashed into Times Square, did you know that it's so crowded? You're kind of stuck there. And people are having a good time drinking and waiting for the ball to fall. Drinking, maybe with alcohol, maybe not. And these people cannot go to relieve themselves.
Oy.
And so they're actually wearing adult diapers.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something so much worse.
And that sounds like not a whole lot of fun to me. So question for you, Aurora. How come your Russian is so perfect?
Oh,
Sergey wants to know.
My Russian is far from perfect. I actually was discouraged recently during an exam when I was told that my Russian is far from perfect and I need to read more in Russian. But I have had several tutors over the years, and then when I moved to Russia, I did a program at Higher School of Economics, Высшая школа экономика, and I think that being surrounded by the Russian language has really helped me with my pronunciation. Also, I attend church and I try to focus on the lyrics that we sing at church, and that helps me with my pronunciation as well because I can hear the rhythms and the songs and mimic that quite easily.
And Marcos Ramos says iPhone or Android. You have an iPhone.
iPhone, obviously.
Because she's a female. And
No.
I have an iPhone because I'm like a female.
No. We have iPhones because iPhones are the best and they have good camera quality. And he is a vlogger, and I just like to record my life.
I did hear, though, statistically, most women buy iPhones and most men buy Android. We have a Russian question.
Привет, ребята.
You can read it to yourself. So, guys, while she's reading that question to herself, so if you're an American, I'll tell you quickly. So, Moscow New Year, it is kind of I don't know. How can I describe it? So, it's kind of flipped, where New Year's the big holiday and Christmas is the holiday that only religious people celebrate. Whereas in America, Christmas is the big holiday and New Year is the holiday that only adults that like alcohol celebrate. Is it fair to say that? I don't know. Because I grew up barely celebrating New Year. It is not that big of a deal in America, or at least it wasn't for my family. As I became older, I became more aware of it. But in Russia, it is my understanding and my experience that everyone stays up all night for New Year's. Mm-hmm. Whereas in America, you know, if you have little kids, you might not stay up at all. Or, you know, if you have little kids, you might stay up till 12:05 and then going to bed. We saw the New Year. Let's get to bed.
I remember us going to our neighbor's house when I was growing up, and I would wear, I think we have some pictures online. I would dress up in like a beautiful white dress, and we'd go and watch the ball, like the ball drop in New York on TV. And I remember I would always fall asleep, and then someone would wake me up to watch the ball drop, and then we'd walk home. To answer the question, someone asked, what plans do we have for the New Year's? Like the New Year night.
Well, we are separating. We're not going to be together for New Year's. So Sveta and I will do something with other people our age who have kids our age. And we're hoping to turn that into a show. And Sveta with some of the other moms is going to lay out Russian food and I'm going to film it, and we're going to talk about it. And so because we have the Moscow New Year episode already from last year, so people want to see more, but I don't want to completely repeat myself. So we're going to focus on the food, which is one of the reasons why I don't have any food with me right now. Because Sveta said, don't bring food to your live, Joe. You got to save it for the episode, which we're hoping will be out for you guys the evening of the 1st, because I'm going to film it, 24 hours from now or 30 hours from now, and then I will edit all day the next day until the evening and get it hot off the presses for you. And so Aurora is going to go hang out with people her age, university. Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to be going to my friend's dacha, which is a cottage house or like a house outside of Moscow, all of whom are Christians. And we're going to just have a chill night, dress in comfortable clothes, go on a walk. We're probably going to watch Putin on the television, and we're gonna make different salads, and the boys are gonna, or boys, okay, they're like students, so I don't really know what to call them. They're going to, because they're like too young to be men, but okay, whatever. They're going to make shashlik, like meat on sticks over a fire outside, and we're probably gonna watch some holiday movies and do karaoke. Someone mentioned Just Dance. We're also gonna have White Elephant, which is what it's called in America. I'm not sure what it's called in Russian. So.
I think it's called White Elephant, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, it's not, because when I said White Elephant, I was like, what? A white elephant on New Year's? Are you crazy? Yeah.
Well, they knew what it was?
No, I then had to explain
the rules. All right. I just didn't know why you were saying White Elephant.
Yeah. And then I'll come home, and I think we're going to celebrate New Year's as a family, like on the 1st or the 2nd. Open presents.
Yeah, we'll open presents with Christoph and Maxime.
Mm-hmm.
Sveta's already said when, but Aurora and I have forgotten.
Someone in the chat asked why there's no translation right now. So
again?
Yes. They said that there used to be a translation immediately. Если это видео, которое он выкладывает, которое не лайв, тогда это там сразу есть перевод, а если это лайв, тогда надо ждать 24 часа, и потом будет лайв. Перевод, в смысле.
Yeah, for the live stream, guys, the way YouTube does it is it takes about 24 hours for the subtitles or the dubbing to be ready. If you have Yandex, you can just come back tomorrow, but share this with your English-speaking friends now so they can jump in on the live. But you can come back tomorrow and watch it. But anyway, so Times Square in New York, that is like the center of New Year's for all of America, in my opinion. And Red Square, I think it's fair to say, is the Russian version of that. Mm-hmm. And Sveta and I tried to go there last year, and it's in our video, Moscow New Year. We get pretty close, but it was closed because of just the political goings on that's happening in the world today. Now, Roy, you said that you guys watched the Russian leader on television. You want to explain that? I mean, he's not like doing a variety show.
No. So he has a speech, I think that starts a few minutes before like midnight, and I don't understand most of it, but we sit down, usually with some champagne, we watch the screen, and then at the end he usually goes, "S Novым Godom," like Happy New Year's. We cheers our glasses, and then the bells in Red Square ring a few times, and then everyone's like, "Woohoo, Happy New Year!" And sometimes there's fireworks outside. I
have noticed that bell tower in Red Square, because I go there a lot to film, it rings a lot.
It does.
Like, it's not on the hour. It's like, was it like every 15 minutes or something?
No, I think
that every time you go there, it's ringing like almost immediately. I mean, it's nice. I'm not complaining. I'm glad.
I haven't heard it that much. It definitely rings at midnight every night. But I haven't really noticed. Okay, what other questions?
No, it rings a lot. Make sure you're not skipping questions.
I know, I'm not.
So, yeah, guys, hopefully you're in the holiday mood. I haven't said it yet, so just so you know, if you want, you can make a donation this live. We got a good amount of people in the live. I'm very happy about that, especially it's the day before New Year's Eve, so I appreciate it. Click share right now and send it to your friends so we get some more people in the live. And if you're in the holiday mood and you're waiting for a holiday video, we have an entire holiday playlist. If you haven't noticed yet, just go to the channel and go to the playlist tab and click Russian holiday. So we got one talking about the differences in the Christmas holiday versus the New Year's holiday. And then we have the New Year video, which is a compilation. It's kind of like an all-star episode of everyone you usually see on the show for like 3 days leading up to New Year's. And then you ring in the New Year with Sveta and I. And then we have some other holiday videos that are Russian holiday videos that are not specific to the month of December and January. So we're on this question, Aurora?
Yes.
So how difficult was the transition moving from US to Russia? Well, for me, I think it was easy because I was married to Sveta for 9 years before I moved here.
Sveta is his Russian wife.
My Russian wife, Sveta, yes, exactly. Thank you, Aurora. I'm an American, by the way. We would vacation here for about a month every 2.5 years, roughly. And that's why we ended up moving, because I was like, wow, this place is great. I like living here. I mean, I like being here, and I could easily live here. And we had 3 children that were going to be going to university, and in Russia it was cheaper. And we have 2 younger children, one of which was due for his first year of grade school, Christoph, who, if you've seen any episodes, he's popular on the show. And so we came here just in time for him to start school, like a half a year before, because we came mid-February. And so the transition was pretty easy because I was used to being here a lot. Our church is international, so it's the same church. You know, our household is big. We got 7 people. We were in a big country home in Florida. We're in a big flat here. So you can only imagine, like, my world didn't change that much. I went from living in a big home with the same people living in a big home somewhere else, speaking English and Russian in one place, speaking English and Russian in another place, going to church in one place, going to church, the same church in another place. So it's pretty much the same for us. I mean, if you're wondering for yourself, you definitely want to start practicing the language. If you're an English speaker who's thinking you're going to move to Russia, that's the big thing. If you can move to a big city, though, it's going to be also helpful that you're learning the language and moving to a big city, because in the big city, a lot of people are speaking English.
I also vacationed here a few times before moving here, not as much as Joe and Sveta, but a few times. And I fell in love with the culture and the language and the style of life here, and I really, really wanted to move back. So in 2021, I started looking at schools, like universities that I could study at, and figured out how I could travel here easily with a visa and all that stuff. And I think it definitely helped that I could understand Russian pretty well when I moved here. But I think that even if you don't speak Russian perfectly, you can get along with people. A lot of people speak English here. And I think it also helped that I had connections here already, like friends, because I would visit here.
So, Bob Roberts, do we convert to Orthodox Christianity? No, we would be considered evangelical Christians.
Can I
Did you want to tell me something?
Can I
go
answer?
ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I would say that we're Christians. I often, when people ask me what what direction of Christianity I am, I like to answer that by saying that I believe in God and I believe in the Bible. And there is a scripture in 1 Corinthians, I don't remember exactly what chapter, where Paul says, don't say that you're a follower of Paul or a follower of Apollos. Say, like, I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. You don't need to be a disciple of all these different things. So I like to say that I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. I believe that he was both God and human, and he died on the cross, and then he rose from the dead, and that I don't need to pick a specific direction. I can say that I believe in the Bible, I believe in God, and that's it. But technically, our church is non-denominational. However, it is often classified as Protestant, and we do have ideas that go along with Protestantism, but overall, I would say non-denominational.
Yeah.
Answer that? Okay.
You did. You answered it too long. So long, in fact, that I saw our live count was dropping. Losing all the atheists and the agnostics.
That is the important stuff. So, believe in God,
So yeah, I mean, basically, we're just trying to follow the Bible and use it in a practical life way. Like, how can it help me live my life better and help me help other people live their life better?
And how can we
Um,
serve the Lord?
but we have no issue with anyone who says they are Christians. So we are all for orthodoxy. If people want to be for orthodoxy, we're not against that. We might have some minor disagreements, but we're living in an Orthodox country. Just like you could say a Jew living in America amongst Christians. They're at peace, and they might like to live around more Jews, but they're totally happy that they're with Christians because everyone in that atmosphere can get along just fine. So hi there, watch you guys often. I'm a native New Yorker, moved to Russia in 1992, stayed till 2017, back in the USA, want to move back to Russia. Your thoughts? Come on back, man. If you liked it in 2017, I assume you will love it in 2023 because it looks like it's just getting better every year. Aurora?
And the metro has grown, so it's easier to travel. And I'd say that Moscow has a similar pace as New York.
So Meryl said, in Turkey, it's the same as Russia in the celebration of New Year as Christmas. Okay, cool. So I think what she's saying is that Turkey celebrates it the way Russia celebrates it, not the way America celebrates it. Okay, Sergey said iPhone is the best. Got it. All right, we're kind of behind here, so I'm scanning for question marks, guys. Make sure you're leaving a question mark. Aurora, tell Mary, who is a British lady, what is a white elephant?
Okay, so white elephant is basically when you go to a party, you bring a gift, and you all put the gifts in the center, and then you pull a number out of the hat. There's the same amount of presents as there are numbers. Then the person who has number 1 goes to the center where all the gifts are. They pick a present at random, and they open it. It could be anything. It could be something very nice. It could be something extremely dumb. I think one year there were toilet cleaners, and another year there was like a beautiful mug. It's completely random. And you're scratching the screen. You're distracting me.
Yeah, I'm just trying to clean it off there. They can't see.
Okay.
I mean, I could scratch the camera.
Stop. Okay, and you go in order of whoever has the next number, and everyone gets a gift from the center. If I got something very expensive, and someone else wanted that gift, then they can steal it from me. For example, he got a phone, I wanted this phone, so now it's mine. And now the person who has number 3, they can either steal from me the phone, or they can pick from the center. And if they steal from me, then I go and I get a gift from the center. I think that I explained this very chaotically, so I apologize. And oftentimes the person who was first then gets to steal from whoever they want at the end. So that
it's kind of a fun, mean game. Everyone brings a gift. It's a cheap gift. It's like $10, right?
Well, you have to decide that ahead of time. So there are people that are like, let's have like gag gifts, and there's people that are like, let's have like good gifts.
The gifts are in bags or they're wrapped, and everyone draws a number, and you take turns getting a gift, and you can steal from people as the game goes along. So it's kind of a mean, fun game, and I like it because I'm usually the alpha male in the room, which means I'm not playing, I'm the host, and I'm telling people who can go where and who can grab from whom, and making jokes and having a good time. If I were to actually be a participant in the game, it might be a little bit frustrating. What are you doing?
Someone asked for my YouTube channel.
Okay. Do you have one?
I do. But
I didn't know this.
I don't post on it very often.
Okay, so Aurora does have her own YouTube channel.
Yes, I do.
Oh, and by the way, we were talking about our church. Our church is listed, the website for the International Church is in the description of every video if you want to look us up.
So my YouTube channel, I don't usually post on it. I posted one vlog video when we moved to Russia, like us going through the airport and stuff, a little bit. And I think that I posted like an end of the year video, and I post that often. I'm more active on my Instagram, where I post a compilation video of smaller videos throughout the year of my life. I also have a Telegram channel, but that's private.
All right, cool. So I'm scanning for question marks, guys. I'm reading as I go. Yes, Mary, you are a British lady speaking British English. Hence the requests for translation, LOL. Okay. Okay, so you told them your YouTube channel.
It's aurorab.rose. It's the same as my Instagram handle, which is in the description.
When you say good gifts, you mean don't say that, all right? There's certain words it's better for us not to say because it could confuse the algorithm. So I don't know if that's a joke or what, but rephrase if you want.
Yeah.
Any plans to collaborate from Eli from Russia? So I've sent her a message. Yeah, feel free to ask me, guys. I'll tell you. Sometimes you guys will tell me someone that I don't know of, and I'll look them up and I'll send them a message. But I'm game to collaborate with almost everybody, and I've contacted a lot of people. If I know about them and I haven't collaborated with them yet, most likely they have not gotten back to me, and that doesn't mean they're evil. That just means they're busy, but they could be evil.
Okay.
How do Russians celebrate the New Year? Thank you, Billy, for getting us on topic. So I think it's kind of like their Thanksgiving feast. Like in America, I think Thanksgiving feast is the family meal. And it is my impression that New Year's for Russia is the family meal. To a point, though, because once the kids get old enough, they're going off with their friends that are their ages. And you also, like Sveta and I, we're going to get together with like 2 other families of people that are roughly our age with little kids roughly our age. So you're kind of grouping up. So it's kind of a family friends thing. But I think Thanksgiving is the same way. And I just came from Auchan, which is like their Walmart superstore here. And it is packed with people. Sveta and I were rushing because I had to get over here. So we bought the heavy stuff and put it in my backpack. And then I walked home and she's still there shopping. And it's lines everywhere. Yeah, so Eli from Russia looks like a fun person. She started before me, so she's already got a lot of subscribers. And so, I understand I'm new, so I'm smaller, so she may not have noticed me yet. How do Russians celebrate the New Year? Well, wait, what's this? Gift exchange.
That's about the white elephant. Yeah, it's kind of like a gift exchange.
Yeah.
We don't usually make turkeys for Thanksgiving.
You mean here?
No, you compared it to Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay. All right. So, but no, they don't make a turkey. Their food is different. It's similar type of food, but the food is different.
Do I talk about the food? Like, should I talk about the food, or should they wait for the?
Oh, no, you can absolutely talk about the food. Yeah, Aurora's going to talk. We'll talk about the food, but roughly 48 hours from now, I'll have the not live, on location, edited video in my kitchen and from other excerpts of us this month doing New Year's-y things. That's the plan. So that'll be ready for you guys in 48 hours to actually see the food and taste the food. Well, I'll taste it. You'll see me tasting it. But yeah, so no turkey. In fact, it's hard to find a whole turkey. Usually it's a goose. Is that right? That you can buy. In America, it's kind of a must. You have a whole turkey on the table, right? And you guys have probably seen that in movies. So for your Christmas dinner, which is December 25th, which is the big December holiday meal, and remember, because in America, New Year's is a smaller thing. It can be a turkey. It can be a giant piece of ham, similar to the size of a turkey. So we would always do a ham because I thought, well, I just did a turkey for the end of November. I don't want to do it again. Let's do a ham, because you're not allowed to do a ham for Thanksgiving. Okay, that would be wrong. You'd be in trouble for that. Right. I'm just kidding. But isn't that funny, guys? How the culture influence just makes you think a certain way. So I got to scroll back here because we're missing some questions. So what did you want me to read? This? Okay, no, we did that already. Yep. What about your wife? What do you mean your wife?
I'm his daughter.
This is my daughter. So welcome to the show and enjoy this live stream. And then you got to go watch an episode on the playlist Aurora so that you see both of us and you kind of get an idea of what our scripted shows are like.
Someone said Eli from Russia should make a video with Aurora. I don't know if you've noticed, I'm not on the channel very often, even on my dad's channel, because I am very busy.
She is a university student at MGU. Did I say it right?
MGU.
MGU.
But the English abbreviation would be MSU, which is Moscow State University. And so I'm usually at university, or I'm serving at church, or I'm spending time with friends. So, yeah.
So rumor had it Slavs are cuckoo crazy in their celebration for the New Year. Any chance we can have video footage about that? I don't think so. Do you think so, Aurora?
I think it depends on who you're celebrating with. I usually hang out with people that are very careful with their alcohol and are very careful with how they celebrate.
So if you are not a Russian and you're curious and you like movies, I would watch for free on YouTube, subtitled The Irony of Fate. That is a great comedy drama and is like a must watch for Russians, I think, around New Year's. Kind of like There, It's a Wonderful Life. Or what's
another must watch for New Year's in Russia is Ivan поменял профессию. Ivan switched professions.
Really?
Jobs.
That's a must watch?
Yes, everyone
I saw it for the
knows
first
that movie.
time last year.
No, that's not true. We watched it together
Okay,
a few years
I forgot
ago. And it's often quoted, and people often watch it on New Year's, is what I've heard.
So roughly, it's a Soviet Back to the Future movie, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, some of the translations are like Back to the Future, or something like that. Even though it's 10 years older than Back to the Future. Aurora, what's...
I'm not sure what that means.
Okay, cool. Regions in Russia where you would want to travel in 2024. Good question, Reener Braun.
I'm actually planning on going to Novosibirsk in May, if I can afford it financially.
That sounds cold.
I don't know. I think it's pretty warm. It's south.
I don't know where it is. It just sounds cold and a little bit scary, but I'm sure it's not, because I'm learning Russia's not scary. Is that true? Russia's not scary?
Russia's not scary at all.
Okay, cool. So I would like to, at some point, see Lake Baikal, but I'd want to see it, if I had to choose, in winter, because it's like the biggest body of fresh water on the planet, and it freezes. And you can just look through the ice, and it's all cracked.
Wow.
And so it's just like really cool. And you can hear it cracking. You can ice skate on it.
So you want to go there in the wintertime?
I would want to go there in the wintertime. In the summer, it's like any other lake. I mean, no offense to it, but it's more unique in winter.
I need some ice skates.
I would also like to... Well, I didn't say I was going to bring you, but...
What?
You're getting older now. You're becoming an old woman.
I know, I'm going to be 20.
Do your own thing. You guys should see Aurora and Zai together. Well, you can on the Corellia playlist. They are funny together. So I would also like to take a Volga River cruise. So river cruises are a thing here. I've been to Saint Petersburg already. It's wonderful. I've been to Rosa Hutor, which is the ski village north of Sochi, and maybe technically in Sochi. I'm not sure. That's also wonderful. And I've been to Suzdal, which is like the ancient Russian village.
You've also been to Yaroslav?
Yeah, I've been to Yaroslav a lot. We have a playlist about Yaroslav, which is where they filmed that Soviet Back to the Future movie, in that general area. Okay, so scanning for question marks.
1 second. Someone said a Russian friend got excited one time when I told them about Red Robin burgers. Red Robin burgers in America?
Yeah, Red Robin, Billy, it came to Tallahassee like 5 years ago. So, I mean, I went there like twice, and it was fine. I wasn't impressed. Sorry.
I have not found... Okay, so there's McDonald's, or Вкусная точка in Russia, and there's Burger King and KFC, but they do taste slightly different than how they taste in the US. However, I have found one fast food restaurant in Moscow that tastes like American fast food. Unhealthy, oily, all that stuff. It's Carl's Jr.'s on Metro Paveletskaya, where green touches brown, and it's in this like underground mall. So if you want some American tasting fast food, eat there.
Someone said Christmas food equals tamales. Is that true, Aurora? You are part Mexican. Is that true?
I don't know, but my favorite Mexican food is fideo and taquitos.
I lost my place here. Where does it say that?
1 second.
So, oh wow, it jumped quick, man. Yeah. Wait, yeah, right there. Christmas vehicles. Okay, cool. So we need to go over Russian New Year's food. And there's something else I was going to say, but I forgot. No, she's not my wife. Actually, Aurora and I were planning to do a holiday-ish episode. It's not necessarily holidays, because the thing about a holiday episode, guys, in case you don't realize, is if it is specifically a holiday episode, it can do very well, but only for about a month, and then it's dead. Nobody wants to see it anymore. So we were thinking to go to the largest ice rink in the world, man-made, which is in Moscow, and film there.
It's on Vydinha, but I got sick, so we couldn't go.
So hopefully this week, or hopefully before she goes back to school, but I don't know, maybe we'll have to postpone it.
Probably after January 8th.
If you want to see it, though, part of it, I am there for a different video called How Old is Written Russian Language? I know it doesn't sound like an exciting title, which is about a year old. If you want to search back, it'd be in the playlist Moscow in Winter. So traditional main dish for Christmas is
goose stuffed with apples.
Is it? Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess. See, that's how much I know. Yeah, it sounds about right. So where's Josiah? I want you guys to do a video at the All Russian Exhibition Center at the Old Retro Video Game Museum. Is that
We've
still
been
open?
there. I don't know, but we've been there. It's near a Nike store that I think closed down. It's somewhere in the center, but we were there in 2017.
That's not a bad idea, Billy. Except it might be too niche. I've noticed, in case you guys don't know, and of course you guys watch everything, right? But if the videos aren't like very carnal core to the point that anyone would be interested in videos, they don't get a lot of views. So yes, The Irony of Fate, great film, right? I agree. Gig's job, yes, this is my daughter. Her name is Aurora, and she has her own playlist. If you want to see more of this, but not live, where we've been able to edit it so that it's only intelligent or funny, go to her playlist. It's Moscow State University, not MCU.
I said MSU.
MSU. You did? Okay, cool. All right, be careful. Sergey is watching.
Sorry.
Why are you sorry if you said it the right way?
Well, I don't know. For the uncomfortable awkwardness, I don't know.
Oh, thanks, Braun. He's saying that I look too young for you to be my daughter. I am 49.
Maybe I just look old.
Not ashamed to say it.
You're going to be 50 this year.
Yeah, no. Next year.
Well, this coming year, 2024.
Yes. In less than a year, you could say.
Okay.
Yes, we have watched Christmas Vacation, of course. Who hasn't? I saw Christmas Vacation in the movie theater, believe it or not, and I thought this movie is stupid.
I like it.
But over the years, everyone watches it all the time, so I've watched it many times since. I've grown to like it. But as a child, I liked the second one, European Vacation. Why does it scroll up so fast like that?
I think it's when someone comments something new. I don't know.
And then I lose my spot.
They just talked about Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, okay, cool. There you go. Vladivostok. What do you think, Aurora?
I do have some friends who live there. But so far I don't plan on going there.
Thanks for the Happy New Year. Happy New Year to all of you guys, really. I hope that you have plans, that you're having a good time. Yeah, I've got my plans with 50-year-oldish people and their young kids, and Aurora's got her plans with her young people.
You just called me old.
I said you have your plans with your young people.
No, a few minutes ago.
No, I'm with my people that are like 50-ish people. So, yeah. Is the lake bigger than the Great Lakes? Okay, good question, Billy. So Lake Baikal is the largest amount of water, but it is not the largest surface size. So the Great Lakes, I think, have the largest surface size, the largest visible plane of water. Baikal is smaller, but it is so darn deep. It is without question, way beyond bigger than anything else as far as amount of water. Very good question.
Новосибирская.
So drink Baikal water. It's healing. Okay, I didn't know that. I haven't planned to go there yet,
Should he
guys.
drink it through a filter, or like buy one of those water filters, or just straight up drink it?
Does anyone think I'm in my 30s? They have. Have they thought it recently? Yeah, I think so. People say, "What? You're 49? Man, I thought you were,
Yeah, my friends have also made some comments.
30 something or whatever, or 40 something." Okay, so where can you find Baikal water? Well, in Lake Baikal. Are you drinking vodka Brat? Is that a brand of vodka?
I don't know. No, brat, it's like slang, like brother. Are you drinking vodka, brother? Like dog.
So I will drink it for a holiday because everyone else is drinking it. Would I go buy it for fun at the store? No. Vodka, it's kind of like medicine. Like if you need to put alcohol in your system, I don't find it very tasty. I'm mostly either dry red wine or light yellow beer. Personally, on occasion, I might have something like cognac, but it's rare because it's really strong. Can you give again your channel name, Aurora? What exactly it is?
Okay, so if you look in the description, there's my Instagram account.
It's here?
I think you put it in the comments.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I can.
Okay, then he'll do that later, and we can link my channel as well.
Okay, so when this ends, hopefully Aurora will remember to put it in the description.
I have a good memory, unlike some people.
Do they have Carl's Jr.? No, they do not have
Yes,
Carl's
they do.
Jr. They have Carl's Jr. here?
I told you they do. They have it on Pavlitskaya. That's where it tastes the most American. They also have it in Saint Petersburg, and I sent you a picture of it.
Weird.
See, we were just talking about memory.
Well, do you care about Carl's Jr.?
I didn't care about it in the US so much, except for the fact that I would go there with my grandma a few times. So I do associate that with her. But I care about it in Russia because it actually tastes like American fast food.
Okay, answer Mary here.
Do you find Russian caters for vegetarians? Okay.
Don't bump it. It's gonna like get confused.
I'm not sure. I'm not a vegetarian. Everyone thinks that I'm a vegetarian, but I'm not.
She didn't address you. I just assumed you're a lady. You might know
but
better than I.
People often ask me if I'm vegetarian. I eat meat, so because I don't pay attention to that, I'm not sure.
I would say, Mary, that Russia, they are big meat eaters, in my opinion, but not like super big. But I'd put them on the bigger side, maybe like America. But I would say there is a boutique grocery store called Kusville, which is everywhere in Moscow, if not beyond. I don't know. Is it in St. Petersburg?
I'm not sure.
And they have lots of options like that, like vegetarian options and sugar-free options. And so, there are definitely vegetarians here because there is a market that I see here for vegetarians. This is just right in the comments.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm going to join the live right now.
Okay, turn your volume off. Aurora's going to jump in the live, and she's going to... Now, Aurora, there's the live chat, and then there's the comments. So they're saying just put it in the comments.
Okay, one second. If I copy this here, I don't use YouTube very often. So if I click share, copy link, does that share my channel?
Well, you can then go post that link in the comments. So go to YouTube now and open this up, and then it's gonna put you in the live stream, and you're gonna X out of the live stream. Yeah, there we go. So hit the X. No.
Fast forwarding to the end.
Hit the X.
X.
Sorry, guys. And now... Live
chat? No, not live chat. You want me
Oh, there's only... Okay, so sorry, guys. Right now, it's only the live chat. It's going to take 24 hours. So put it in the live chat, Aurora. So in 24 hours, you'll be able to make comments, and it'll be dubbed. And you can hear it with subtitles or see it with subtitles. Is champagne used in Russia? Yes, that's a must, Billy. People are definitely buying champagne. I've done that already. Did you put it in the comments, Aurora?
Yes, I did.
Okay. All right. I'm scanning for question marks.
Wait, there's something about salad. And food. Salads are pretty much vegetarian food, and most food is pretty much okay. Someone said that salads are mostly vegetarian. However, I would say that Russians do include meat in a lot of their salads, like olivier and mimosa, and like those. So there are salads with meat and there's salads without meat. But I think that goes to say in every country.
Someone said your name is
My name is Aurora.
Aurora. Aurora.
After the princess from Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. A Russian barbershop episode. I have like 5 seconds of me getting my haircut. I don't know if I've shared it. 48? You mean my age? I'm 49. Well, Aurora, are you?
Okay, you have to read the comment. The comment says, is Aurora single? Yes.
She is single. Poor Aurora.
No.
19 and single.
Not poor Aurora. I have high standards, and I'm not going to date someone unless I think that there's a high chance that I would marry them.
Good for you, darling.
There.
You're
not
a good
Aurora.
daughter. More like 39, thanks. Yes, 49 is young. No, I'm happy to be 49 because I feel pretty good about my health, and the alternative is death. And that has not happened to me yet, so I appreciate it. I'm grateful. And it is strange though, because I'm at the age where people that I know, my peers are starting to die. Not a lot, but some, and so there's definitely a reminder that you don't live forever, and you need to make the most of your life. So, question for you, Aurora.
What are you studying or doing? I'm studying. I guess my major would be called teaching foreign languages, and I picked that because I want to learn more languages, and I want to be able to teach them to my future children. And what am I doing? I also have a job where I teach English at an English club, but I'm not going to say the name for privacy purposes.
Okay, so Baikal water is like a brand, like Fiji. Okay. Sam Adams beer on New Year's. I don't know if they have Sam Adams beer here.
No.
They have Pabst Blue Ribbon, and I usually have that. That's like American beer that you can get here that I like. But I don't think I'll be having it on New Year's because Russians will be telling me to drink this strong alcoholic drink or that strong alcoholic drinks, and I want to just drink what they want me to drink.
Is vodka bad for you? I think things can be good in moderation, but I'm not sure how that. Some people in Russia, I've noticed that there's this concoction of like vodka, honey, and pepper if someone's sick, but it's not used for like every medication, like solution, but that is one solution to help someone throw up, I think.
We're not alcohol experts.
Yeah.
But it is my understanding that the best thing to drink for you is water. The second best thing is hot tea. And if there is a third best thing, it might be some alcohols, but there are people that would argue that. So let's see here. How good is the Russian food delivery system? It is fantastic.
Very good.
And we use it often. And I think there are some services that'll get you almost whatever you want in 15 minutes in the state of Moscow.
30 minutes is what I've heard, but yeah.
Okay, Aurora. So because this is about New Year's, let's do a little back on subject thing. And I see your questions, guys, but tell us, what is the musts for American? Let's compare it to American Thanksgiving, okay, guys? Because New Year's is just not that big of a deal. What's the must for Thanksgiving food in America?
Well, for Thanksgiving, there has to be a turkey. There has to be cranberry sauce. There has to be stuffing, or what's the other name for stuffing if it's not
dressing?
Dressing. There has to be mashed potatoes or some sort of form of potato. And I usually have green beans, and I'm not sure if this is a tradition only in my family, but we often have macaroni and cheese, but that might just be for the picky eaters.
I think that was slowly becoming a thing for everyone as I was getting older, but it wasn't like that when I was a child. So you said turkey, you said dressing, you said cranberries.
Cranberry sauce.
Yeah. I think green beans are pretty popular. A type of potato, often sweet potatoes.
Sweet potato casserole is good.
Right. So if you're an American, let us know if we missed something that's a must for Thanksgiving feast,
Pumpkin
because
pie.
we have decided that's the biggest feast in America versus New Year's in Russia, which is the biggest feast in Russia.
Maybe Christmas Eve dinner is
I
also
was
big, but
no, it's I mean it's big.
I think it
it's
depends
not
on the
as
family.
big as Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So Christmas is the bigger holiday, but as far as the meal, I think Thanksgiving is the biggest meal. Tell me if I'm wrong, guys. Olives, green olives and black olives. But in America, the green olives all have the red pepper pimento stuffed inside, mostly,
Mostly.
95%. Whereas in Russia, it's not like that. It can be like that, but that's like maybe 5 or 10%.
They often have lemon inside or anchovies or nothing inside, is what I've noticed.
Okay, I'm going to get back to some questions and think about, you're going to then tell us what is the must for New Year's food.
Okay.
So is it like Wegmans? I don't know, Billy. I think you are a New Englander and I am not. You are a Yankee and I am a rebel. How long have we been in Russia? I came here with Aurora and we met Josiah, who had been here for a couple of years.
February 16th.
3 years. February 16th. That's 8 days before the special military operation.
2022.
Have I ever traveled anywhere else besides Russia? Yes, definitely.
I have not.
You've only been to Russia?
I've only been to the U.S. and in Russia.
Country-wise?
Country-wise, yes.
Okay, I've been to Mexico a couple of times.
He forbade me.
And I regretted it. I'm sorry to say. It doesn't mean I have anything against Mexican people or Mexican food. But my experience traveling there was not good both times.
I mean,
I survived, though.
A Hispanic person.
I did marry a Hispanic person. Yeah, I have lots of connections to different races, so I feel comfortable that it's hard for people to accuse me of being racist. Let's see. I have been pretty much all over Western Europe, and Britain. I don't know if you consider Britain part of Western Europe, but I have not been to Germany. Germany is probably the biggest place in Western Europe that has eluded me thus far.
He has some cool retro photos from like the 90s when he went.
Yeah,
when he traveled through Europe.
Yeah.
He had short hair. It was like a buzz cut.
I always had pretty short hair until I met Sveta. Okay, all right. So I'm looking for the next question. Okay, are there lots of kids who speak English? We are thinking about joining an IB school in Russia. Do you know what an IB school is, Aurora? It sounds familiar.
I have a guess, but I'm not completely sure. Is an IB school where like there's public schools and then there's public schools that are for the smarter kids and then there's public schools that are for like average kids. Is that what an IB school is? An IB school is for like the kids that have a higher higher scores on tests. Answering the questions about English speakers.
Are you jumping ahead?
No. That was part of the question. Are there English
We just got $10 from somebody. I don't know who you are yet, but I'm going to call you out when I get down there. You guys are ahead of us in the questions.
There are lots of people that speak English here. I've mentioned before that I study with English speakers. They're Russians, but because I'm studying teaching foreign languages, they speak English perfectly. It's a shock. Like, they speak very well. So I guess not everyone speaks English. I do have friends that don't speak any English, but I do have friends that speak English quite well. So it just depends on who you're hanging out with and which spheres you're part of.
So obviously everyone who is native to Russia speaks Russian, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they are required in school at the age of 7 to start learning English.
No, not only English. It depends on the school. Because I have friends that know French, but they don't know English because they were taught French when they were 7. Yes, there's a lot of those students where I study. I've
never heard that before.
I study teaching foreign languages. So there are students that studied English their whole life. There are students that like Russian and English. Students that studied Russian and French, students that studied Russian and German, Russian and Italian. It just depends on which school you choose.
Okay, well, it's 3 languages at some point, right? Once you're old enough, you're doing Russian and 2 other languages, right?
Yes, possibly. Once you're in 9th grade, I think you're required to learn a 3rd.
So almost everyone, any Russian you bump into on the street, 95%, I would think it's fair to say, they speak Russian. And they've been taught English, and they've been taught a 3rd language. It doesn't have to be English necessarily, but 95% of them, they probably picked English as their 2nd or 3rd language, right? But that doesn't mean that Russians are going to feel like they can speak English. They might tell you they can't speak English, but they have all been taught it in school, and they know most of what they can hear. But
Through television, especially.
the Russian culture is to be careful that you do things correctly. So if they feel like they cannot say English perfectly, they don't want to say it. And if you're Russian, tell me if I'm wrong. So usually you'll be in a group of people and they'll be like, we can't speak English, but then they break down and one of them is willing to speak English because they want to help the situation.
I had a friend who told me for months they could not speak or understand English. I had two friends actually like that. And then all of a sudden I said something to my brother in English and then they answered me in Russian and I was like, I thought you didn't speak English.
So Philip, before we moved, we were thinking about putting our kids in a American or British school. Actually British school, because I thought, well, why not, right? It'll still be English and it'll be a different experience for my children. But it costs money, whereas public school is free. And in the end, we were like, well, there's no reason to pay for that because Sveta and I can both speak English. So we can speak English and Russian with the kids. So if you speak English with your children already, Philip, they don't need to learn English in school, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm scrolling on down so I can catch up to you guys. And I'm looking for the question marks. What? It jumped on me again. Okay, football. What's Russia's equivalent of Thanksgiving football? Aurora, do you know?
I'm not completely sure, but I know that my friends often get together not to watch American football and not to watch European football or soccer. They usually get together to watch F1, Formula 1, or to watch UFC fighting. But I would say F1 is more popular.
Really? Cool. We're watching car racing.
Yeah.
Where are my two sons? Well, I have 4 sons, and they are not here because, as you can see from the thumbnail, it's my face and Aurora's. I can only fit 2 people in here into the show, so we kind of take turns. But I can hear through the door muffled sounds of my wife Sveta and Christoph and Maxime. Okay, cool. So, I think I've gotten to the person who paid the $10. Sergey C said gingerbread with a question mark.
We have I've made a few gingerbread houses this winter, but we usually buy them in a box and then we just put them together. We used to make gingerbread fresh at home in the US, like gingerbread men, and I think that's it, like different shapes as well. But here we haven't made that as often. It's harder to cook in Russia, I would say, if you're from America, because the ingredients vary slightly, like very, very slightly, but it makes it a little bit more difficult when buying products.
So you can see Aurora's gingerbread house that she made at the very beginning of yesterday's dacha video that I posted. It's in the first 2 scenes, and I talk about it.
I think Alex made that gingerbread house, actually.
No, his gingerbread house is garbage. It was all collapsed.
Oh, is it the one that was on wheels?
No, it wasn't that. I just picked up a normal house because I needed a house to look normal.
Okay, well, I didn't make a normal house.
I think it said Max with a cross on the roof.
1 second. No, it said NCH, which is Moskovsky Cerkov Hrista, Moscow Church of Christ.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
So, Drew Wagner, everyone remember that name. Thank you for the $10. I really appreciate it. Where are you from, Drew? And Drew's question, how are you providing for your family while living in Russia, or are you living off savings when you worked and lived in the U.S.? Well, I am 49, Drew, so I have several different investments, and I have passive income, and that is how I'm providing for my family. I would like it if the sanctions would end and the YouTube channel would grow, and the YouTube channel would be making a good amount of money, or let's say enough money to consider it full-time money. As it is right now, it's only $200 a month, roughly. So, but I'm grateful that I have passive income, so I can continue focusing on the YouTube channel because it is my passion to tell the world the truth about Russia. And at the same time, I get to make videos with my family, and it's more fun than cutting up photos and sticking them in an album.
What about Spanish teaching in Russia? Yes, there's also people that learn Spanish in Russia. It was just not one of the languages that I mentioned off the bat. But there are specific schools for teaching Russian kids Spanish as their first, second language. And then later on, they'll learn English.
Really interesting.
Mhm.
But it's my impression that it's Russian, English, German, or French.
Maybe it's just because I study with students that are specifically studying languages, that I'm surrounded by students who know other languages other than English as their first, second language.
Now, here's a question. Do you know that? Looks like it's in Russian or something, not English.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, cool. Sorry. How can you get Josiah to laugh out loud? Has he ever, Billy, on the show?
I get him to laugh out loud because I'm funny. Okay, no, but I can annoy him and sometimes he'll laugh.
Love to hang out with Aurora and Alex. Yes, everyone wants to hang out with Aurora and Alex. Aurora and Alex are so busy with their university stuff, they're hard to get a hold of.
He also studies at a very good university, which keeps him very busy. He's often studying up until 3 a.m.
So Aurora is just as popular as Josiah and Christoph on the show, but she's hardly on the show because she just doesn't have time. So New Orleans. I love New Orleans, Drew. I mean, to be fair, I wish that it was better taken care of. I think it's a little bit scary, but I like the idea of New Orleans, let's say. And I've been to New Orleans a lot because I grew up in the Gulf of Mexico. Do we have any friends from Kazan? Do we?
Kazan.
I'm not aware of that. I don't think Aurora's been to Kazan. I've been to Kazan. I think that was the first. No, it was the second trip we did on this channel. The name of that playlist is not Moscow. And that's because I didn't want to give away where we were going in the first video. We were going on a Russian train to where? Question mark. Also, there are a lot of Russians that are critical of Moscow, and they like to say Moscow is not Russia all the time. And they feel like when they say that, they've owned me and they've shown us all their intelligence, because Moscow is the capital city and it has more people and more resources, and so in a teasing move, I named the Kazan playlist "Not Moscow" to kind of say, "Haha, look, I'm not in Moscow." So I see lots of comments, guys, and I'll read them, I promise. But I'm also looking for the question marks so I can be sure and answer your questions. What's up, Operation Zenith? Yes, I understand. New Orleans is having a hard time. So how about the train ride to Kazakhstan? You say that every time, Billy. What's up with Kazakhstan? Convince me. Why should I go to Kazakhstan?
I do have a friend in Kazakhstan.
Oh, cool. Kazakhstan or Kazan?
Kazakhstan.
Okay. Is it hard to get a job in Russia without having a degree? Absolutely not. Aurora, you want to say something?
I have a job right now. Pays pretty well. And I don't have a degree yet.
Well, let's say if you're an English speaker, it is not a problem.
Except if you're an English speaker teaching English online, then it's not a problem. But if you want to officially work under someone in Russia, then you do have to get a specific permit to work under them.
We talk about this pretty extensively in, I think, if I remember correctly, in our other live stream with the Kiwi. So if you go to the live tab and look back a couple of weeks, Kiwi moves to Moscow, and he talks about how he went to school for 6 years to become a pharmacist in New Zealand, and then he lost his position because he did not want to go along with the medical requirements that were happening about a year ago for a 2-year period. If you guys know what I mean, I want to be careful I don't confuse the algorithm and get them to do something to this video where not a lot of people see it. And so he moved to Russia where there were less restrictions, And in a month, he was making just as much money being an English tutor as he was making after having to go to school for 6 years to be a pharmacist. So, Aurora, tell us what, because you told us the musts for Thanksgiving food. Tell us, what are the musts for New Year's food, according to you? And hopefully, if you're wrong, the Russians will ridicule and correct you in the comments. And hopefully, you're right, and it will match what I'm going to eat in the next full video.
Okay, so I'm not Russian, so I am going to share what I usually like to eat on New Year's in Russia and what people have given to me. There is always oливье salad, which is peas, cucumbers, carrots, and a meat, usually like a bologna type of meat, but we usually substitute that with chicken whenever I celebrate it because I'm not a huge fan of bologna. And there's always a mimosa salad, and that is tuna. I forgot how to say tuna in English.
That is funny. That happens, guys. You're in a foreign country long enough, you start to forget some simple words in your native language.
Yes,
you just don't use it as much.
Tuna with boiled egg, cut up very tiny, onion, mayonnaise, and carrots. And that is my favorite salad for New Year's. It has to be there. And there's usually champagne, and my friends and I usually buy ice cream, but it's not a must. And sometimes there's vinaigrette, but that's not always on New Year's. I think that oftentimes they have ikra, which is fish eggs. They'll have red fish eggs or black fish eggs on bread with butter.
That's a must, I would say.
Yeah, but I've only tried it once, and I did not like it at all. But I don't know. There's something else that I forgot.
How about fish salad? There's lots of different fish salads, right?
Yeah, there's this one fish salad. It's like under a shuba. It's like some sort of fish with some vegetables on top. I think like carrots and onions. But it's
what
really
she
good.
said translates to under a sweater because it's got lots of different layers. Kind of like a 7 dip, like a Mexican dip.
7-layer dip. That's good. I missed
dip.
that. I want Mexican food.
So Darth Vader says to you in Russian, "Почему Aurora так хорошо знает русский?"
Спасибо большое. На самом деле, я не так хорошо знаю. Why does Aurora...
How do you know Russian so well?
Why does Aurora know Russian so well? Well, my stepmom is from Russia, his wife. So I grew up hearing Russian after age 8. And then when my little brother was born, they wanted to start learning Russian. And then when I was about 13, I started wanting to learn Russian myself and studying more, and I had different tutors. And then when I moved to Russia, that helped. I think constantly hearing the language and watching films in Russian and listening to music in Russian. And like I said earlier, me trying to mimic the lyrics of songs also definitely helped me with my pronunciation. Yeah,
so as far as moving money, what?
Sorry, one more thing I wanted to add. Also, when I moved to Russia 2 years ago, a lot of people wanted to speak to me in English, but I made it a rule for the first year that I would not speak to people in English. It's like, if you want to talk to me, I'll speak to you in Russian, but I'm not going to speak to you in English. And people are like, but make an exception for me, please. Like, we can text in English. I'm like, I'm sorry, with everyone, strict rule. I'm only speaking Russian for the first year. And I still try to mostly speak Russian.
Yeah, that can be a problem if you want to learn Russian when you come here, because Russians will be excited to practice English with you. And so it'll slow your progress learning the language. How do you get money into Russia? I think I answer this in every live stream. I mean, there's many different ways. People are flying in and out of Russia all the time, despite sanctions. You can bring, I think, 10,000 in cash in your bag without declaring it to customs. So a lot of people are having friends bring money back and forth for them. Another way I see someone mentioned, Meryl mentioned, is Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. So you can, with your American account, you can buy cryptocurrency in America. You can transfer it to a Russian cryptocurrency, and then you can turn that into rubles that way. So that's another thing people do. I know there's a bank called Raiffeisen, and for a while you could do stuff with them. I'm not sure if you still can or not. We were for a while because it was an Austrian bank, which has locations in New York and Moscow. So that was an option for some people. You wanted to say something, Aurora?
Someone said, "This is funny. You forgot an English word. It shows your thinking is becoming Russian." I've actually noticed that I've started to think in Russian and in English. My sentences and the thoughts in my head, it's like half English, half Russian, and I definitely notice that when I pray. It's like a mixture of English and Russian.
Wow, that's very cool. Yes, Aurora does go to a very prestigious university. Thanks for saying that, Simon.
I study teaching foreign languages.
Right. But she is not studying with the foreigners. She insisted on studying with the Russians, which is harder.
So I was given a choice to either, since it's teaching foreign languages, they do have a separate section for foreigners. And I was told that because I'm a foreigner, I should probably go with the foreigners to study these languages. But I asked and I asked and I asked, like, please, can I please study with the Russian students? I think it'll help my pronunciation better. And I know that it's going to be difficult for me to take these classes in Russian, but I want this challenge. So I study with Russian students.
Meryl wants to know what you do for work.
I teach English to little kids. It's a group of kids, and there's 2 teachers usually.
So it's like all day Saturday, right?
I'm not going to give the details. I don't teach it's not just Saturdays. Sometimes it's during the week, sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays.
Aurora's accent in Russian is very subtle. Good job.
Thank you.
Which kind of music do you both prefer?
In the wintertime, I often listen to classical music because it reminds me of the ballet, and I used to go see the ballet during the wintertime. That's like my image of winter. And during the year, I would say I listen to a lot of different kinds of music. I think because I have brothers, they often play their music, and I'll just like listen to whatever they listen to. And then I have some more indie music is what it would be called in America, where it's like not pop music, but it's also popular. So I don't know how to describe it.
Depressed rock and roll, you mean?
Maybe a little bit sometimes. But I also like Taylor Swift and Harry Styles, and I like Cage the Elephant, and I like this other artist, but I cannot remember his name. Okay.
I was born in 1974, guys. So that means I like classic rock and roll. I still listen to it. I don't listen to it a lot all the time. I often listen to classical music or movie soundtracks from films that I've enjoyed because I like not having the words in the songs because it helps me to have the music on while I'm working or something. If they're talking, if they're singing words, I can't really like multitask, if that makes sense. I like classic Christmas music for the month of December. Did we miss a question mark? So.
No, I think it's good.
So, guys, if you're just joining us, if you've never been on this channel before, I'm an American, and she is my daughter. And the name of the show is Expat American, and we've been living in Russia for almost 2 years, in Moscow specifically. We started this channel because of the sanctions and the new Cold War. We want to do our part to try to promote peace, so we make fun, funny, intelligent videos, hopefully fast-paced videos, that we want you to share with the world so that people can see that Russia is just a normal place. You wanted to say something, Laura?
Someone made a comment about how it's hard to learn Russian because people want to speak English with you. A trick that I did is people would start speaking to me in English, even though I would say, like, no, I don't want to speak English. I only want to speak Russian. And then they'd still speak to me in English. And then I would do this thing where they'd say something to me in English, and I don't want to be rude. I want to answer them. So I would only answer them in Russian until they would get the point. Sorry, I'm still a little bit sick. And I would say it in Russian, like as if I'm talking to a child sometimes. So if it was like, Aurora, how are you? I'd go, мне очень хорошо, спасибо, что ты спросил. And I would like make it very clear that I want to speak Russian.
Mary, yeah, because you flew recently. You said $100, and then it looks like you said 10,000. So I believe it's 10,000 in cash. Elena Butler, New Year's resolutions. What are your New Year's resolutions, Aurora? And keep in mind, Aurora and all you guys, there's a lot of people in the live chat, which I'm grateful for. It's nice to see we can all celebrate the New Year together live. Of course, I'll have the New Year's show in like 2 days, but I'm going to end this stream in 10 minutes. So if you have a question you wanted to send, you haven't sent it yet, don't be shy. So I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions because I'm kind of like type A personality where I'm like trying to be excellent every day anyway, every day of the year. So when the New Year's resolution time comes, I'm already trying to be my best every day. And you say, okay, Joe, now how can you be better? My head wants to explode. So I'm not a big fan of this idea of the New Year's resolution. What about you, Aurora? Do you have New Year's resolutions?
I think that I usually pay attention to, or like I do a reflection of the year, but I also don't usually put New Year's resolutions. I agree that if I want to change or be better, I'm not going to wait for the new year to start. I'm going to set those goals or just decide that I'm going to change throughout the year. Like if I'm in June, I decide now I'm going to make my bed every single day. I'm not going to wait until January 1st and be like, now for the new year, I'm going to make my bed every single day. Like, no, I think it's important to constantly try to better yourself. So I'm also not a huge fan of New Year's resolutions. Plus, I feel like I might get disappointed if I said, like, by the end of the year, I'm going to do something, but then it doesn't happen. So
sorry, guys, for our not fun questions.
I did have to
answers.
I did have to write a list of 15 New Year's goals, New Year's resolutions for my French class, and I had to write it in French. And I sat there for like an hour. I was like, what? I'm supposed to set 15 goals? I have no idea. Like, what am I doing? What else do I have to do that I'm willing to like actually set my mind to and complete?
I do, however, quit alcohol for 1 month, usually January 15th to February 15th, because I hear that it takes about 2 or 3 weeks of no alcohol for your liver to become like a baby liver again. So I do that as a practice just to keep my body youthful. And January 15th to February 15th, because that's a boring time of the year where nothing happens. The New Year's festivities are over, and then you have about a month till Valentine's. Yeah, so I do like January 14th. I usually end it for Valentine's. Okay. So, Billy, do you want to know if you could do sociology in Russia? You should email my wife about that. Her email's in the description of every video, guys. She helps people immigrate. She is a psychologist as well, Billy, so she might have some idea about sociology.
I think that's different from psychology, but yes.
It is different from psychology, but it's an ology.
Okay.
So invite your wife and children to live together. Gigs, what the heck do you mean?
Maybe live. Like go live.
Oh, to the live together? Oh, okay. All right.
I read the question too. I read it as live. You wrote it as live.
Look at the screen. How many people can we fit in here? It's a two-man job.
Plus, they would lose attention. Like it was short.
Oh yeah, Christoph and Maxine, they're awesome in an edited show. But Gigs, just go see one of our shows. They're on the show all the time. So go to the play. This is what you do, Gigs. Go to the playlist on the playlist tab. There's a playlist called Christoph, and that will be sure that you'll get all the episodes with our young kids.
Is there a playlist called Maxime?
No, there's not a playlist called Maxime. He'll get a playlist when he starts talking.
Okay.
Right now, he's like a cute animal.
He speaks, just not in front of people.
So the latest episode with Christoph and Maxime is a cool episode that I released on a Tuesday night. This past Tuesday without any announcement. And it was... Should you get the power strip? No, we didn't get the power strip. We got time. My computer just said that it's running out of juice, but we're going to end in... Don't do that. I have to read. Forget it. Okay. We're going to end soon anyway, guys. But it's called Moscow Winter versus Summer. If you guys didn't see, you should check it out. It is very cool because I filmed in summer and then I filmed in winter and I edited back together. We cut back and forth from winter to summer, and Christoph and Maxime were in that video. So check that out if you missed it.
Guys,
And also in the live, I've had my wife twice before. Go ahead, Aurora.
someone asked if there's any church celebrations for New Year's tomorrow. There's usually celebrations not on actual New Year's, but on January 7th or December 20.
Because that's like the Russian religious holiday.
Yes. So January 7th, there is going to be like a special church service. Are we allowed to give that information?
Well, I mean, go to the website, guys. Go to the description, and our church website is there.
Yeah, go to the church website, and then
it's international, so you can find locations.
And then specifically go to the Moscow Church of Christ, and there's definitely going to be a Christmas service in the church region that is near the Metro Novogoreva. It'll be at 12 o'clock.
All right, we're going to burn through these questions because I want to make sure we get them all, those who have asked. How much, on average, in dollars does it take to live for a family of 5 in Russia?
No idea. I don't worry about that stuff.
Bill, you better email my wife. Her email's in the description. She can tell you that exactly. I'd not dare answer that question in 30 seconds. So let's see here. I mean, and there's going to be a lot more she's going to have to ask you to help you answer that question. As part of her immigration help. Does Aurora still love the metro system, Aurora?
Yes, I do. However, it's very udobno. It's very comfortable, useful when my friends know how to drive and they can drive me places.
What is your favorite soundtrack composer to listen to? Well, I mean, there's the obvious ones like John Williams that people like. I liked Alan Silvestri when I was younger. I like Hans Zimmer a lot now, but there's a lot of good ones.
You listen to that Battleship movie soundtrack a lot.
Dunkirk?
No, it's a battleship.
Because that's Hans Zimmer.
No, it's on a ship and someone.
You mean Master and Commander?
Yes.
Oh, that's a great movie. Yeah. Well, that Master and Commander uses classical tunes in it. So. And I forget who. Maybe you guys know. You can type. Advice: when I go to open a local bank account, then to carry cash everywhere, is that possible or other options? What she wants to say is email my wife.
Yeah, but you can open.
That was a long pause. That means she doesn't exactly know. Let's not give them the wrong information.
Okay. I mean, I was just gonna share what I did.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I opened up 2 bank accounts. And it's very easy to send people money through your phone if you have bank accounts, but I also have cash on me just in case. And there's ATMs everywhere, so yeah.
Where is Maxime? Well, gigs. Maxime is 5 years old, and it's 6:30 right now in Moscow. So my guess is he's having dinner down the hall with his mother and his brother right now. How's Valentine's Day celebrated there? I'm glad you asked that, Billy, because that's my opportunity to say, go watch our Valentine's video. Why is it popping up like that in front of me? Okay. I have a Valentine's video, and I don't think it's part of the holiday playlist, though, because that holiday playlist is Russian holidays. Mm-hmm. But it was posted in February of last year, and they don't really celebrate Valentine's here, Billy. I mean, you can buy it because the Western world has had a heavy influence on Russia in the past 30 years, but it's only been in recent years with like the sanctions and stuff that Western media is losing its influence on Russia. So something like Valentine's and Halloween, they're going to be kind of turning against. Doesn't mean you can't celebrate it, but it's kind of like looked down on, like, ugh, it's a Western holiday. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. They do have their version of like a love holiday. We are ending in a minute and a half or less, so go. Quick, Aurora.
Never mind.
No, say it.
Someone commented, Happy New Year's, like Happy 2024 New Year's. I'm from Tomsk. I thought you commented earlier that you're from Novosibirsk. So now I'm confused. Anyways, next question.
Oh, there's no more questions. People are saying Master and Commander is fantastic. I absolutely agree, guys. everyone sees Gladiator and they love it. And I'm not down on Gladiator, but I mean, Russell Crowe is fantastic at Master and Commander. It's such a great movie. Anyway, this is Expat American. Happy New Year, guys. Go watch our Russia holiday playlist. Share this with your Russian friends in 24 hours. Be looking out for our New Year's special where we'll eat this yummy food. Maybe not Aurora, but me and Sveta, which will be ready in about 48 hours. And like, subscribe, and give us a donation if you can. But if you can't give us a donation, at least you can hit like and click share and send this to your buddies. But really, from my heart, I wish you guys a very, very happy New Year. Aurora, you want to say anything else?
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Goodbye.
Christmas.
Well, Merry Christmas,
trying
Happy
to
New
get them
Year.
upset here?
No, it's both.
It is both. Love you guys.